The perfect heist. In the heart of a bustling city, where neon lights danced on rain-slick streets, lived Clara, a daring, resourceful woman with a knack for outsmarting anyone who underestimated her. Clara grew up craving adventure, but a string of mundane jobs had left her restless. She wanted more: danger, thrills, and a life that defied convention. That's when she hatched her audacious plan. Her target? The Beacon Vault, the city's most secure bank, known for its state-of-the-art systems and ironclad security. But Clara wasn't interested in cracking safes or hacking systems. Her strategy would exploit something far simpler: trust. After weeks of reconnaissance, Clara identified her mark: Ethan, a mild-mannered but charming IT specialist at the bank. Ethan was the type of man who blended into the background, polite, kind, and slightly lonely. Clara studied his routines, his favorite coffee shop, even the books he borrowed from the library. She knew his likes, dislikes, and habits better than he did. Clara engineered their chance meeting at a cozy cafe one evening. She spilled her drink on his table, apologized profusely, and offered to buy him a replacement. Ethan, ever the gentleman, waved it off, and the two struck up a conversation. Clara's wit and warmth drew him in instantly. By their third date, Ethan was smitten. By their fifth, he was confiding in her about his stressful job at the bank and the tedious security protocols he dealt with daily. Clara listened intently, feigning concern while mentally cataloging every detail. Clara spent weeks nurturing the relationship, careful never to arouse suspicion. She made Ethan feel like he was the hero in her story, a kind, reliable man rescuing her from her chaotic past. Meanwhile, she discreetly gathered intel: the vault's access codes, the timing of security rotations, and most importantly, Ethan's digital keycard access. When the time was right, Clara planted the seed. Over dinner one evening, she mentioned her dream of traveling the world, lamenting how finances always held her back. Ethan, eager to impress, joked that if he had access to the vault's riches, he'd whisk her away to paradise. Clara laughed, but the spark in her eyes hinted that the idea wasn't so far-fetched. On a quiet Friday night, when most of the staff had left early for the weekend, Clara set her plan in motion. She convinced Ethan to sneak her into the bank after hours, under the pretense of showing her where he worked. "It'll be our little adventure," she said with a playful grin. Ethan bypassed the outer security through the emergency exit with his keycard, and Clara feigned wide-eyed curiosity as he led her through the building. At the vault, Clara gasped in awe, persuading Ethan to open it just for a peek. Flattered by her excitement, Ethan obliged, entering the codes and using his access card. The moment the vault doors swung open, Clara acted. She pulls a small syringe from her sleeve and injects. Ethan's arm, quick, painless, and effective. His eyes widen as he stumbles. She whispered, "Sorry, Ethan. You're a sweet guy. Nothing personal." She kisses his forehead and moves swiftly, filling her bag with untraceable cash. Careful to avoid triggering any alarms. She'd already planted a device on Ethan's access card earlier, ensuring his credentials would show as compromised if investigators checked the logs. Clara had planned every detail of her escape. She ditched her disguise in a prearranged location and boarded a train out of the city, blending seamlessly into the crowd. By the time Ethan woke up, groggy and disoriented, Clara was hundreds of miles away, enjoying the first sip of a tropical cocktail on a sunlit beach. The police investigation zeroed in on Ethan, whose access card had been used in the heist. He protested his innocence, as Clara had made sure to erase all traces of herself from his life, leaving no photographs, messages, or records behind. She was a ghost, a phantom who had vanished without a trace. There was no evidence to convict him of the crime, so he was released and cleared of all charges. But he was laid off by the bank after the investigation. Years later, Ethan, with his new family by his side, he had found his footing once more and moved on with his life. Clara, now living under a new identity and her own new family, would occasionally reminisce about the heist. She'd smile to herself, thinking of Ethan and the perfect crime she'd pulled off, not with brute force or cutting-edge tech, but with charm, cunning, and a heart-stopping kiss, a side of her that her family could never know. Moral lessons. Clara's hunger for thrill and wealth led her to betray someone who cared for her. This story suggests that greed can drive people to unethical choices that might grant temporary success but leave lasting emptiness. Deception destroys trust. Manipulation can have severe consequences, both for the deceiver and the victim. Be cautious with trust. Blindly trusting others, especially with sensitive information, can lead to your downfall. Every action has consequences. Even a perfect crime carries risks and lifelong repercussions. Resilience leads to redemption. Ethan's ability to rebuild his life shows the power of perseverance. Think before you share. Being mindful of what information you reveal can prevent being exploited. Thanks for watching this story. Let me know what you think in the comment section. Follow for more exciting stories, and see you in our next video.